Yeah, it says live on mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my screen shows that you're live streaming.
All right. So yeah, there's no comments anywhere. The group chat.
Doesn't
No,
have any.
nothing. Just Taylor let me know I'm pretty insufficient with Google Docs. Appreciate that, Taylor. So, so no, we
All
hear.
right, we will move on to honors and recognition. Now, I
Okay.
understand there isn't much there, but Jeff, do you have anything to add to Tony's email to me?
I do. You guys, we've kind of talked about it, but for the record, two recognitions. One for the students that have been accepted both to schools as well as been awarded scholarships. The second one, for the record, is just a recognition to Dr. Rudisell, Dr. Perry, the curriculum leads, for your efforts in planning the transition to a remote learning situation, which includes, as we've learned tonight, a model continuity of education plan. It's due to your leadership, your efforts, and the efforts of all the staff here at Conewago Valley that have made the transition successful. I do want to, for the board, extend that recognition. It's not an easy thing to do. It's certainly breaking the paradigm, the comfort zones of the building, and we've tackled that. We've broken that barrier, and we'll continue to do so through the end of the year. So well done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. All right, we'll move on to the treasurer's report. And Luke, do you have the figures ahead of you?
I do. The balance of the 5 accounts is $18,253,237.98. I so move that the treasurer's report be filed for audit.
Okay, has anyone seen any addition or corrections? If not, do I have a second?
Second.
We need
Thanks,
to,
Bill. Do we have a roll call vote, please?
yes. Mr. Buckley,
Yes.
Mr. Flickinger,
Yes.
Mr. Huffman,
Yes.
Miss Gauker,
Yes.
okay. Mrs. Bolton,
Yes.
Mr. Craybill,
Yes.
Mrs. Souter,
Yes.
Mr. Kinshu,
Yes.
and Mr. Groft.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next we have finance. And Luke, will you give that to us?
I'd like to recommend items 1 and 2 for approval.
All right, we have 1 and 2 for approval. Any additional corrections to those 2 items? If not, we need a second.
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 All right, Bill's a second. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Flickinger,
Yes.
Mr. Huffman,
Yes.
Miss Gauker,
Yes.
Mrs. Bolton,
Yes.
Mr. Craybill,
Yes.
Mrs. Souter,
Yes.
Mr. Kinshu,
Yes.
and Mr. Buckley. Mr.
Yes.
Buckley? Okay, and Mr. Groft.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, will you do Ways and Means?
I will. We have item 1 and we have additional item number 2, which was no small feat, to recommend the approval of the Conewago Valley District Continuity of Education Plan. These 2 items I so recommend.
All right. Are there any additional corrections? If not, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second.
I'm sorry, who second?
Me.
Thank you. It's hard.
Well, two of us did it at the same time, I believe, so.
I think I heard Tara first.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Huffman,
Yes.
Miss Gauker,
Yes.
Mrs. Bolton,
Yes.
Mr. Craybill,
Yes.
Mrs. Souter,
Yes.
Mr. Kinshu,
Yes.
Mr. Buckley,
Yes.
Mr. Flickinger,
Yes.
and Mr. Groft.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, we have personnel. Eric, can you do personnel for us?
Yes, I like to recommend personnel items 1 through 6 with additional items 7 through 12. These so recommend.
Okay, we have items 1 through 6 with additional items of 7 through 12. Are there any additions or corrections? If not, do I have a second?
Second, Mike.
Thank you.
Mike has second.
Thanks. I
Roll
appreciate
call vote, please.
Okay, Ms. Gowker,
Yes.
Mrs. Bolton,
Yes.
Mr. Craybill,
Yes.
Mrs. Souter,
Yes.
Mr. Kinshu,
Yes.
Mr. Buckley,
Yes.
Mr. Flickinger,
Yes.
Mr. Huffman,
Yes.
and Mr. Groft.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the next agenda item is property supplies, and we do not have any. Unfortunately, we can't even use the building at this present moment, so. All right, dates to remember. Our next date would be May 4th for the study session and May 11th for our voting meeting. To be determined whether or not we can do it in person. If we can't, we will meet the same way we have this month.
Yep.
Is there any other business which may properly come before the board? No comments. All right. Dr. Rudisil, have you come across any comments from our public?
I'm looking, there's no responses in the Google form. There's nothing in the chat. And I'm not seeing anything on the live stream feed. So,
Okay, then I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said we're good.
All righty. Then we will adjourn our meeting at 8 o'clock on the nose.
whew,
Mhm.
look at that.
Yeah.
New record.
That's a Zoom record.
We zoomed right through that one.
Aw.
Whew, he'll be here all
Dr.
year
Rudisil,
at his
before
house.
you-
I
Dr.
think that was a
Rudisil,
bad dad joke.
Yes, Mr.
Dr.
Groff.
Rudisil, before you get off, I'd like to talk to you.
Yes, sir. You got it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Hey,
night.
thanks all.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Stay
everyone.
safe.
Thank you.
Stay
Take care.
Night.
Be well.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Bye,
Be safe,
everyone.
everyone.
No.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Come on. How do
Thank you.
get out
Stay
of here?
safe.